One of the most quintessential beach neighborhoods in all of San Diego is Pacific Beach. It's also one of the first neighborhoods that most people mention if you ask where you should live in San Diego.
Today I'm going to take you on a driving tour of Pacific Beach so you can get a little feel for it yourself. And if you're just trying to figure out which is the right neighborhood for you in San Diego, please scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below, and you can download my free relocation guide that actually has information on all of the San Diego neighborhoods. Okay, let's dive into more about Pacific Beach.
Located just south of La Jolla and north of Mission Bay, Pacific Beach has over 2 miles of sandy shoreline. PB, as the locals call it, is just off the 5 freeway and can be a good place to live if you work in La Jolla, UTC, Sereno Valley, or even downtown. There isn't a light rail stop in PB, but there is one not far away off of Balboa Avenue. We are coming into PB today from the 5 South by taking the Grand Garnet exit, and we're going to start our tour on Garnet. There are two main arteries running through PB, Grand and Garnet. And Garnet is the center of that partying. It's lined with bars, restaurants, tattoo shops, boutiques, and an eclectic mix of other businesses, and they're connected by Balboa. PB is known as the place to go and party when you're in college. Garnett can be kind of a pain to get down, especially during the summer, and I've had it take 20 minutes to get from the freeway to the beach before. So if you're planning to live here and have a commute, definitely take that into account and test it out. Also, the exit at Garnett can get super backed up on the freeway, but if you're brave enough, you can usually cut the line, but you have to be brave enough to do it. Parking in PB can also be a pain in the butt, especially during tourist season, but I've pretty much always had luck parking just a couple blocks away into the residential areas when I've wanted to go to a business on Garnett or to the beach. If you are a foodie, there are all kinds of great places to try in PB, from fancy to hole in the wall, and just about any cuisine you can think of. There is a Vaughn's, a Trader Joe's, and a Sprouts on Garnett. There's a Ralph's on Mission Boulevard, closer to Mission Beach. And then in North PB, there is a Gelson's. And then there are a couple small local markets scattered around as well. The north-south streets in PB are alphabetical, starting with Bayard, which is at the ocean end of PB, and it's also where the farmers market is on Tuesdays. Moving away from the coast, we have Cass, then Dawes, and so on until Pendleton, which is in a military housing neighborhood that I'll point out later. All these streets are named after 19th century federal officials. The east-west streets are mostly named after precious stones, such as tourmaline, turquoise, and of course, garnet, which is not pronounced like garnet, oddly. The closer we get to the beach end of Garnet, the more touristy it gets, and Garnet ends at Mission Boulevard and the ocean. Interestingly, this street started out being named Allesen Street, but was changed due to the popularity of Mission Beach. I personally like the old name better. Along the beach is the oceanfront walk that is lined with restaurants and tourist shops. You'll find people walking, biking, rollerblading, and walking their dogs along the boardwalk. If you take Mission Boulevard south, you're going to end up in Mission Beach. And if you take it north, you'll hit La Jolla. Now we're going to turn on to Grand Avenue, which is a little more residential than Garnet, but still has some businesses. From here, you get to Crown Point, which is possibly my favorite part of PB because it lines Mission Bay. There's a pathway around Mission Bay that goes for like 16 miles. Of course, Mission Bay is also a paradise for paddleboards, kayaks, sailing, and other water sports. In this part of town, you can find some very high-end homes, but unfortunately, the streets over here need some desperate repaving. This area also has a small business area, which includes Rocky's, which has one of the best burgers in San Diego. Now we're going to head over to the northern part of PB. We just passed the military neighborhood I mentioned earlier. It's here at the eastern end of Garnet, close to the freeway. If you ever drive through the neighborhood and wonder how much homes cost, they're not for sale. To me, they look like they're right out of the movie Pleasantville, though. Like, they're all exactly the same. They're very neat. It's a little spooky to me. Right now, we are close to the freeway and we're going to turn up Soledad Mountain Road. Mount Soledad is mostly in La Jolla, but the lower parts of it are still in PB. and you can get some homes here with like amazing views of both the bay and the ocean. There's also a fantastic mid-century modern neighborhood on Mount Soledad if you're into that type of architecture like I am. Kate Sessions Park is also just up the hill, and it's a popular destination on Mount Soledad. It has great views of the bay and the ocean, and it's a popular spot to watch sunsets and just gather for a picnic with friends. If you follow Barrel along the bottom of Mount Soledad, which is the road we're on, you'll get to Foothill Boulevard, which takes you to Turquoise, which is considered North PB. Turquoise has lots of great cafes and restaurants, and you can tell when you're about to get into La Jolla by the Gelsons at the end of Turquoise. This is also a higher priced area for PB. The streets in the main part of PB are a mix of mid-century apartments and mostly bungalow-style houses, though there are a lot of those old bungalows being torn down and more modern homes are being built. The median price for a 3-bed, 2-bath, single-family home in PB is over $2.1 million, which reflects the desirability of living near the beach. You can get a 1-bedroom condo for around $600,000, and 2 bedrooms will cost you over $1.1 million. According to greatschools.org, Mission Bay High School is rated as an 8, and the elementary schools appear to be 7s. If you can get into Sessions Elementary, that goes up to an 8. The mix of people who live in PB is going to skew young just because of that party vibe I mentioned earlier, but I know a lot of people my age, so I guess middle-aged, who are just living the dream of being able to walk to the beach and who also really love living here. So that's Pacific Beach for you. It's one of my favorite parts of San Diego. I'm always looking for excuses to come down here.
So that's Pacific Beach for you. It's one of my favorite parts of San Diego. The parking and traffic and somewhat grungy nature of it might be off-putting to some, but if you're looking for that beach lifestyle, it has so much to offer and is an amazing option. If you are ready to search for your Pacific Beach home, please don't hesitate to reach out.